So again, on your formula sheet, you can find this formula, but this is really for variance, because remember variance was standard deviation squared. So in order to get the standard deviation, I'm going to have to square root. But I have to start by finding variance first. And so if you notice in this formula, I'm going to take each of the outcomes, I'm going to subtract that mean I just found, square them, and multiply by their respective probabilities, and then I'll add all of that up. So going back to the first one, it's kind of convenient to make yourself a little table, even more convenient to do this internally in your calculator. It's going to look like this. Okay, so actually to go back, I don't know what the heck I was doing with my calculator, but my mu for the first table should have been 3.5, not 3.6. I don't know how I got that. So go back and fix that. You probably figured it out if you actually put it in your calculator, which you always should in case I make mistakes. So I'm taking each of the outcomes. So the first outcome was 1, and I'm subtracting the mean, squaring it, and multiplying by its probability, which was 1/6. Then I'm taking the next outcome, which was 2, subtracting the mean and squaring, and multiplying by its probability, which was 1/6. And so I'm going to repeat that for every single one of those outcomes. So the next outcome was 3, and its probability was 1/6. The next one was 4, and its probability was also 1/6. The next outcome was 5, subtracting the mean again, squaring. Ooh, my goodness, its probability was 1/6. And last but definitely not least was the outcome of 6, and it also had a probability of 1/6. And so the easiest thing to do would be to put this, is go to your list 4, because you have stuff now in lists 1, 2, and 3. And what I notice is every single time I took the number from list 1 and I subtracted 3.5 and squared it, and then I multiplied by the probability, which is in list 2. And that's what I would do. And then after you're done with that and you get it all in there, then you're going to want to quit out of your editor and go sum list 4. And that'll shortcut it so you don't actually have to type all of this into your calculator, because that takes a little bit of time. And hopefully I managed to do this one right and get 2.916 repeating. But remember, that's my variance. And so to get the standard deviation, I have to take the square root of that, which is 1.708. And so that's my standard deviation for that first table where I was looking at the outcomes for rolling a die. So tomorrow we'll do the second one in class together, but I want you to highlight this, and you need to remember this. The mean will almost never be one of the outcomes. So when I got that 3.5, I shouldn't have been surprised. That's why the 3.67 didn't really make me stop for a second. What I have to remember is it represents the value or the average over the long run. So that's after a lot of trials. Doesn't mean I'll get that within a couple trials, but over the long run, that's the value that I would actually expect to get. Okay, sorry it's so late. See you all tomorrow. We'll do letter B tomorrow in class.